Hi and a big welcome to Steve's Kitchen. Today we're going to be making a favourite dish of mine from Asia. We're going to be making barbecued pork, Char Siu, which is a sticky, sweet barbecued pork served on a bed of rice with vegetables. Absolutely delicious. Take a look at this now, see how to make it. The sweet barbecue sauce starts with a decent honey, and we're going to put 4 tablespoons of honey into this bowl. And then into the honey, I'm going to be adding some red fermented bean curd. It doesn't need a lot, this is more for colour and a little bit of flavour. I'll just take a teaspoon and get one of these cubes of bean curd out of here, if you can see that there. Take some of the sauce as well, a couple of teaspoons of the sauce. And then just break the bean curd up and mash it in with the honey. Then I'm going to be adding 4 tablespoons of dark soy sauce. Now use the dark soy sauce, not the light. The light's not rich enough. And 4 tablespoons of rice vinegar, but the dark rice vinegar normally comes in 1, 2, 3. It normally comes in one of these tinted bottles. We're going to add a teaspoon of the Chinese 5 spices and 2 tablespoons of hoisin sauce. Then just mix that all together. I'm going to pop that in the microwave for just 40 seconds just to heat that through a little bit. An important part of making char siu or barbecued pork is which pork to use. Now you want a pork that has a decent amount of fat running through it. Some chefs I've seen using belly pork and take the skin off. This is the neck. My butcher calls this a neck pork. So we're going to take our neck pork and we're just going to slice about an inch thick. It's about 2.5 centimeters. So we're just going to slice off. For this recipe, I'm going to make 4 slices of char siu. So there you have it. I've got 4 slices of char siu. I'm saving some of this for another recipe. 4 thick slices of pork. They've got a good healthy line of fat. Now I know in the West we don't like fat in our food and everybody's sort of a bit squeamish, so you could use a loin steak, but you'll lose a lot of the flavour. Really go for this meat if you can. Now we're going to take the meat and we're going to put it into our previously prepared sauce. And we're just going to lay it in there now. And this needs to be set aside for at least 5 hours, preferably overnight. So I would leave that now in the sauce overnight until you get a rich, dark surface to the meat. And all that lovely, the bean curd, the fermented bean curd, all the sauce and sweetness goes into the meat, makes it absolutely delicious. And for reference, that is 500 grams of meat. So if you go to the butcher's and you want to know, that is 500 grams of pork. Now our pork has been marinating overnight. That's been about 8 hours. And you can see now, if I lift that meat up, it's a lovely, rich mahogany colour. The marinade has gone right into the meat. That is perfect. That is now ready for cooking. Now I've preheated our oven to 180 degrees Celsius, that's 350 degrees Fahrenheit, and I've got a pot in the bottom here which has got about a pint of water in it, and I'm just going to be putting the meat onto the rack above the water. Now all the juices from the meat will drop down into the water, and as we're basting our meat through the cooking process, all that sauce in the bottom there, I'm going to be using that to make the char siu sauce. And periodically we're just going to take our sauce and we're just going to baste over the top of the char siu. And as I say, we're not worried about the juices dripping down because they're adding to our sauce in the bottom of the tray. Now after the second baste, I'm just going to turn the pork over now. And you can see on this side it needs more basting. We're now going to start basting the other side of the barbecue pork. And you want to baste this every sort of 5 minutes or so. Be generous on the basting. None of this sauce is going to waste. Now our char siu has been in the oven for about 20 minutes. I'm putting one last baste on there, just to get that thick, sweet sauce over the top of that. And then another 5 minutes or so and that can come out and be ready to be served. So we bring the char siu out now. Just lay it to rest on a board for a few minutes. Let the juices settle. And we'll slice that up and show you what that is like to serve. So any dipping sauce we have left over, we just pour into the bottom of this tray here. And you can put this onto the stovetop and just reduce this sauce down, thicken it up a little bit, and that's ready then to use as a sauce to pour over your char siu with any dish you choose to do. It tastes absolutely delicious, by the way. Okay, it's time to plate up that char siu. Let's do it the traditional way. I've got some freshly made steamed rice here. Now for those of you that would like to see the recipe of the perfect way to cook steamed rice, I shall put a little link here, just on the side here, so you can see the most efficient way to cook steamed rice. Nothing nicer than char siu served on a bed of steamed rice. We're just going to take a Chinese vegetable of your choice, a Choi Sum or bok choy, whichever you like. Just lay that across the top of the rice. Is that in shot there? Okay, and now we'll take our char siu, take one of these pieces off the tray that's been laying on the side, and we're just going to cut it through into slices. And the whole piece then just gets laid across the top of the rice like that. And now our sauce, and now I've reduced down that sauce from the bottom of the tray, and we just take a spoonful of that beautiful barbecue sauce and just pour it across the top of the meat. Rehydrates the meat, adds a little flavour to the rice. All those lovely tastes, the honey, soya, Xing, the red bean curd, and there you have it. That is a char siu fan, or char siu barbecued pork with rice. This is absolutely delicious, guys. Give this a try at home. Until next time, take care. For those of you that have subscribed before, welcome to the show. And for those of you who are new, I'll put a little subscription button here. Really appreciate it if you could subscribe and give us the thumbs up. Take care. Till next time.